Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back once again to JJ's PC Builds. I'm JJ with you. Now it's time for Graphics Card Nightmares. Now we're going for another episode right here on the channel. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to visit Newegg. Well, let's start off like this. We're going to visit Amazon, Newegg, and MicroCenter. And also, too, I might have something at the end of the video for you. A little bit of something you might need to know. So stick around, watch it through, and stay with me. So here we go. Now we're on the action screen. Let's go ahead and bring up Google Chrome. Let's get right on it. So we're going to go ahead and we're on Amazon right now. So let's go ahead and get the party started. And from what it looks like to me today is that I'm noticing that there is a lot of 3060 12 gigabytes and also too the 4060 8 gigabytes. Looks like Amazon's pushing that this week. Last week they were pushing the lower cards and, you know, like your 580s, basically the 580, the 3060s, and some of your third-party cards. But this week it looks like they're just pushing mostly the 3060 12 gigabyte and the 4060 8 gigabyte. So, you know, I don't think you want to get a 6650 XT because if you remember right, AMD did a test where they used the 6600, okay, the RX 6600, and ran it with the 5900 XT CPU and the 5800 XT CPU. I don't really think you want to go there with that. They should have ran it with like a 4070, like right here. 4070, that's what they should have ran it with. So, but it looks like the prices are coming up on Amazon on some of the items here. I've noticed that too, that the prices are getting higher on Amazon. So when we go to Newegg, we'll end up seeing what kind of pricing they got. But this is my front page. I'm just letting you know, this is what I see on my front page when I'm scrolling through. And truthfully, I see nothing but a bunch of nightmares on Amazon this week. So let's go ahead and slide over to Newegg and go right to the top. And let's see. Again, Newegg's doing about almost the same thing Amazon's doing. But at least they got a 7800 XT here. But I don't think you guys are going to pay $574 for it. Even though that it's got a promo code of $40 off. I mean, even $535, I mean, that's still going to be too steep. $479 on Amazon if you can find it. That was the going prices, $479, $480 for the 7800 XT. But this is the Yeston's Radeon 7800 XT. You know, each company's got their own set of parameters when it comes to, you know, pricing. Each one of these vendors have their own set of pricings. You get third-party vendors that got more pricing on graphics cards than other vendors. Like if Newegg's selling it themselves, then you'll probably get a cheaper deal. But like on Amazon, if they're selling it from the warehouse, you'll probably get a cheaper deal. But sometimes these third-party cards are just like astronomical in prices. I mean, I wouldn't pay, you know, double for a card that only gives me a certain amount of performance. But that's the reason why when I bought the 7800 XT and the 4070, I knew something. And what I knew was that buying those cards at the time I did, that the prices were going to go through the roof before the next gen comes out. People are still skeptical if AMD is going to come out with an 8000 series. I mean, truthfully, they're skeptical. I'm even skeptical if they're going to come out with the 8000 series discrete graphics cards. It seems so far the only thing they came out with is integrated graphics on the 8000 series. So, you know, what do we got to look forward to? Well, why were they doing discrete graphics on 8000 series? Ask yourself that question. Oh, no, don't ask yourself that question because Copilot plus PC came out. And they had to recall that for the recall. That's funny. They had to recall because of the recall. 4068 gigabytes for $293. I'm still skeptical about it, but $293 is not bad. Okay, that's not bad for a 4068 gigabytes compared to the 6600 8 gigabytes. That's at $200 and 93 more dollars. You get, guess what? Something with ray tracing, AV1, and all that good stuff. So that's stuff to think about. I mean, because look, if you get a 4060 for $293, they got right here a 3050 6 gigabyte for $240. So for 53 more bucks, you might as well go with the best. Better than that is the 4060. So they got the 7900 XT for $700. I mean, if you look at it this way, that's got 20 gigabytes of VRAM. So look, for an extra $100, you ask yourself this. Okay, if you were to go with a 4070 Super, just to say, that's at $600. And that's got 12 gigabytes of VRAM. This has got 20 gigabytes of VRAM, 8 gigabytes more for an extra $100. You figure a single card with 8 gigabyte of VRAM is an extra $200, right? I mean, if you go with the 6600, that's an extra $200 for 8 gigabytes of VRAM. So if you break it down for $100 more, you get 20 gigabytes of VRAM and you get awesome rasterization. And also too, some people say, and I hear from some people, and they say, well, the ray tracing is not that bad neither. So for $700, what do you got to lose? You got nothing to lose. And they got the 7900 XTX here, and they got an $80 promo on this. $80 promo on a 7900 XTX. Okay, so you look at 4 more gigabytes of VRAM, a little better performance compared to a $700 card. So you got to go up $279 more for an extra 4 gigabytes of VRAM and a little bit more performance. I will tell you this. I'd rather go with the 7900 XT, 20 gigabytes, than I would the 7900 XTX. At this price, yes, I would go that route. Well, I can see that these third-party cards came down a little bit in price, but you can still buy these cards for $50 all day long at, let's say if you go over to, China's website, you can buy them $50 all day long. Then they're just selling you not a third party, a fourth party card that's used for $92. I mean, save yourself $42 and move on. 4070 Super, $600. Good point right here. So you can get a 7900 XT for, let's go back up here, 7900 XT for, keep moving on down the road. I must have overshot it. My bad, everybody. Right here, $700. So going down here, if you pay $700 for that, that's $800. I'd rather pay the $700, truthfully. 7700 XT came down in price a little bit, $375. Not too bad at all. $10 off. They better give you $100 off to make that worth something. Yeah. See, yes, and it's got too high of a price, I think. So 4070 Ti for $800. For 16 gigabytes of GDR6X for $800? No. I'd rather go the 20 gigabyte and get that all day long. Let's see. Keep moving down the road, everybody. Oh, they got a 6800 for $390. Is it really worth the $390? I'll tell you what. If it was me, I would get the 6800 XT. Because that will keep in competition between the 4070 and the 4070 Super and the 7700 and the 7800 XT. Keeps in competition between those two. So, just to let you know that. 4090, Still too high of a price for me. Yeah, I mean, they better come down to like $1,300 to make that worth anything. You know, the 4090. Especially if I got to take the risk of the power connector burning up. No, I don't want that kind of risk. 4080 Super, look at it, $1,059. Ridiculous. 4080 Super, $1,000. $10. It was $9.99 originally, so they only marked it up $10. Close to MSRP. Not too bad, PNY. Not too bad. PNY is kind of coming out of the box a little bit with this. So, but if they knock it down an extra $100 or $200, make it like an $800 card, I bet you everybody would be all over this. Knocking it down $200 more, they'd be all over it. 7800 XT for $480, not too bad. 4080 Super, no, still a nightmare. And with that 3050, $170. Yeah, I hear people talking about the 3050. They're a good entry level card when it comes to gaming, but AAA gaming, forget it. You ain't gonna get that. All right, moving on to NVIDIA. Hopefully y'all stayed right here at MicroCenter. My bad. Hopefully y'all stayed with me this long. Stay with me till the end, as you never know what I got cooking. Make sure, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe though, and make sure you put a positive like on the video too. So, okay, 14 available to ship. That means they can ship to you from store to door. Let's see, 7600 XT, 324, pricey. You get 2 games with the 7800 XT for $600. Okay, guys, let's get the calculator out here really quick. And we got to do one more thing. And I know I forgot, guys. I know I forgot. You all getting all on me about this. The big booty cursor. We got the big booty cursor right here. So don't fret. Don't go anywhere. I know you all excited. So let's just get on it. And this is the deal. If you got the 7800 XT, right, for $600, I think that is too much. Let's say it's $479 or $480, right? You pay $480 for it. Okay, say you get two games that equal up to $150. So you minus $150 off. That's how much your GPU cost. Look at that very carefully. $330, guys. You know why I say this? Because if you're going to go buy the game anyway, the 2 games you pick, you're going to go buy both of them anyway. And that's just if you look at it that way. So $330 is a good number. But let's say you're going to buy the games and you don't have that option where you get 2 free games. So now you got to add on $150 to the $480. That now made your price up to $630. Instead of $330, now you got to pay $630. You see the difference? When it comes to buying your graphics card, if you're going to pay out for 2 games already, and if you're going to spend $150, let's just say, just for say, look at it this way. If you buy the card with 2 promo games, and you're going to buy the games anyway, what the hell? This brings down the price of your graphics card. So instead of spending $630, you'll spend $330. I know that sounds like a $200 deal, but usually I would say average about $200, $100 each game. So you spend $200 on 2 games, that if you get them in a bundle, then basically you've spent $200 less since you're going to go buy the games. I hope that makes a little bit of sense to you, because some people say, well, no, it's not, because you're still paying the same price for the graphics card. Actually, you're not. If you look at it, you're not paying $200 more for a graphics card. You're paying $200 less. Each game costs you $100. That's $200 less you paid for your graphics card. So if somebody asks you how much you pay for your graphics card, oh, I only paid about $330. They'll be like, huh? You paid that much? $330 for a 7800 XT? And I went and got me a 6800 for more, like $370? So you got a better graphics card that's $20 less? That's this generation? You can't beat that. This is pricing as you shop. I do this all the time. Any bundle deals, anything that I see, I price all that. I can figure all that in. So, I want you to really think about it when you're first time shopping. Just don't go out and buy the graphics card because, hey, they got a bundle deal on this one. But you forget the one thing, performance. But for $330, if you can get it for $479 with 2 free games, then that's at an average $330. So you pay $330 for your graphics card. After you pick out your 2 games and see how much they cost, there you go. So keep that in mind, people. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's not. I mean, you want to know how to get, get more for cheaper. Right here, they got a 7700 XT. Okay. That comes with 2 free games, like the 7800 XT. So if you got the 7700 XT and you go to calculate it and say, okay, I'm calculating this at $440 and I'm getting 2 $100 games, so I'm minusing $200 off of this. You pay $240 for the card. That's how much you pay for the card. A 6650 XT is almost $230. Come on, think about it. So I always look for the bundle deals, guys. Do remember that. Not just MicroCenter has it. If you go and you really look, you can find them on Amazon and Newegg as well. So let's see what they got in store. They got 316. Don't forget that drink and snacks. They got 316 graphics cards in store. 4080 Super, not too bad. That's at MSRP. 4070 Super, $9 above MSRP, but still a deal. Still a deal. But if you can get it lower, like about 570, 560 for a 4070 Super, that's even a better deal. Let's keep going. $2,000 for a 4090? No. 4070 Ti, $850? No. Because you can get a 4070 Ti Super for what'd they say, $800, if I remember right. So, that is a Ti Super, but $850 more. If the performance is good, yeah, I can see that. But $549 for a 4070. Let's keep moving. Oh boy. Okay, 4080 Super, 40. Too pricey for me. PNY comes and hits it home again, keeps it right at MSRP. 4070 Super is a little too rich. 4090 is way too rich for me. 4080 Super is way too rich. 70 way too rich, especially when you can get it $700 on Amazon. 7900 XT, $700. Breaks even with Amazon. 3060, no, I wouldn't pay that. 4080 Super, it's not too bad. Could be worse. 3060 Ti, Founders Edition, $250. But right there, that's going to be the superstition of it all. Okay, let's see, 12 gigabytes, 4070, 589, a little too rich for me. 4070 Super, a little too rich. Not my cup of tea. $700, still within the parameters. Still too rich. GRE, see right here, 7,900 GRE, $550, 16 gigabytes. So your 7800 XT is $479, and your 7900 GRE still in the 7900 series. That's $550 because you get your 7900 XT, which is right above this, and then you get your 7900 XTX. So you go the 7900 GRE, 7900 XT, and then the 7900 XTX. So keeping in that price fashion, and plus this is an OC model too. That's not bad. Moving on, people. Give me something good. Okay, let's see. $400, even better yet. Right here, $400. And if you get $200 worth of games, guess what? $200 card. Again, right here, $500. $500. And with 2 games, $300. So you get better price to performance for an extra $100. Not too bad. Keep moving. Let's see, $400, like I said, $500, $529. No, but this one's not too bad, right here. $900 for a 7900 XTX, but $200 less, you can get a 7900 XT. So you're not missing out on much performance. So save yourself $200. All in all, let's keep going. See if there's anything else that's worth talking about. Keep going. Anything else worth talking about at MicroCenter? No. That's pretty much it with MicroCenter, everybody. Pretty much it. Okay, now you made it back to the main screen. Let me turn some of this off. We went through everything. Is everything there? And I told you all at the end that I was going to have something special for you. I do have something special for you. I got something special that you need to see. So, there's been some kind of mischief that people been saying. They've been saying, hey, Jay, what's this about? I hear you talking about giving your GPU extra free RAM, VRAM. Well, it's not VRAM, it's actually RAM. So let's go back to the action screen. Okay, so let's talk about this. Your GPU, right here. Okay. You got what they call dedicated GPU memory. This is your VRAM right here. So I got 12 gigabytes of VRAM. On top of that, I have what they call shared GPU memory. This is your system RAM. Okay. System RAM right here is 32 gigabytes. That's shared with the GPU memory, giving me a total of 44 gigabytes right here. 44 gigabytes. Now, knowing that I get 44 gigabytes, this is what I did extra special. Now, hold on. Okay, what I did was I went into the control panel. Okay, let me minimize this. I opened up the system, which gives me this related link right here. Domain root work group, system protection, and advanced system settings. I clicked on that and brought up this. Now, let's minimize this. This right here is the system properties. You got your computer name, your hardware, your advanced. That's where you need to be, your advanced. And it says performance. So you hit your settings, and then you go to the advanced. Now, where it says a page file is in area on hard disk, Windows use as if it were RAM. Click on change. Make sure this is on programs and hit change. Now, what I did was here, I gave myself an extra 2 gigabytes on top of the 9 gigabytes that's recommended right here by the system. It says recommended 9 gigabytes. So I gave myself an extra 2 gigabytes, giving me a total of 11 gigabytes. Allocated, now this is the RAM. This is your SSD drive that you dedicate for your RAM. You're going to ask me, well, Jay, why is this so much important? What this does, this gives a virtual buffer for your RAM so you don't get as many stutters and everything else. People might say I'm crazy about this, but I've been doing this for years. Okay, using this extra little buffer line, because there are some systems out there that don't come with much RAM. Let's say you got 8 gigabytes of VRAM and you want to take and dedicate 8 more gigabytes to it. You can do it right here and give yourself virtual RAM and your system RAM. Save yourself a little bit of money. That's basically what you're doing here. So you're saving yourself an extra little bit of money. It's using a little bit of part of your hard drive. Yes, it is. But, it's giving you a little bit more. So right here, I got close to 11 gigabytes. So let me hit cancel. So on top of that, when you go to your memory, it says I'm using 9.4 gigabytes. And available is 54.1 gigabytes. Right? Committed is 12.7 gigabytes, and out of 12.7 gigabytes out of 74.4 gigabytes. And my cache is 4.6 gigabytes. That right there, that's what is important to me. Getting it close to a bigger cache. Getting it close to, let's say, a 10 gigabyte cache. That would be even better, but I have to work on that, getting it there. It's something in the registry I have to do in order to bring it up. And when I get ready to do that, I will take you all along with me for that. But right now, that's not too bad. This I can deal with. So knowing that the system is using, with OBS and everything else, 9.4 gigabytes of system RAM, and this is what I got left, out of 64 gigs of RAM, which is right here, it says 64 gigabytes. Okay, now I come down to my GPU, and I'm only using 1.1 gigabytes with 12 gigabytes of VRAM. But dedicated, shared dedication, 32 gigabytes. And this right here with this equals that, 44 gigabytes total. And with me using my SSD as a cache to my system RAM, that gives a better buffering, so you get less lagging, less stuttering, you're better off. I've did this and balanced my system out, and it runs great. So I never have an issue with this. So let's go back to the main screen and we can finish up on that. That's a little bit of bonus to y'all, so just to let you know, it's a little bit of a bonus. Alrighty, to sum up on what we talked about, Amazon. I've seen one or two that might have been a great deal. That might have been a really great deal, but not much this week. Newegg, they got one or two that's pretty good, but it's still in this, everything is still staying stagnant pretty much. And that's pretty much what you want it to do right now. And when they come out with the next generation, you want them to lower that price a little bit more on, the older generation. So that's why I'm saying sit still and wait. They could have a Black Friday and turn around, say, the 40 series and the 7000 series and put them all on sale. A lot of those cards on sale. That's what I'm waiting to see. Once these new cards come out and they start rolling out, That's pretty much what's going to happen, because people are not going to be able to sell it at MSRP anymore. People are not going to be buying them at MSRP anymore. They're going to want a better deal. And as long as they're keeping the public happy, sorry, I have to do this. As long as they're keeping the public happy, then they're going to keep lowering those prices. And that's what you want. You guys want lower prices, then you're best to put your foot on the brakes right now and wait, save up your money for the next big thing. What happens if they start testing the 5080 and it turns around, it's a monster of a GPU? What then? And then you're kicking yourself in the butt and saying, oh my God, the 5080 is a monster and I had that same amount of money, but I bought something for the 40 series. And then now you're scrambling around and you can only sell it and get, lose $100. But I'm just telling you, PC parts are going to be changing. Oh, I got another itch. PC parts are going to be changing for the simple fact is this. Copilot. What Microsoft's doing with Copilot, and for right now, it looks like they're shutting out Intel and AMD from the new AI experience that they put on their software. They pretty much are shutting out Intel and AMD as far as the CPU. But as far as the GPU, I'm going to tell you this. It looks like their Snapdragon isn't keeping up to the hype. I'm getting reports from a couple friends of mine telling me their laptops are not meeting up to the hype because of the GPU. The integrated graphics on some of them is just not meeting the hype. So I'm waiting to see more independent testing being done on these, laptops and desktops. Guys, I'm going to state this once and once only. I might state it again. You never know. This channel, I'm not basing myself on laptops. The reason why I'm not basing myself on laptops, one, it's all on one chip. That's like in a keyboard, just the same size as this, and with the screen. So when you have all on one chips, you can't do much with them. You can't desolder those chips without, wrecking your laptop. And if they go down, you have no option but to buy another laptop. With a desktop, on the other hand, you have plenty of options. If the motherboard craps on you, then change the motherboard. If the processor craps on you, change the processor. If the RAM craps on you, then change the RAM. If the SSD craps on you, guess what? Change the SSD. Or if your power supply craps on you, change the power supply. Or if you got a bad fan, then change the fan. More options on desktop than there is laptop. Laptop, I consider, if you're going to take and go outside the house and you need to do your work, that's what I would use it for, outside of the house. But if you're going to sit inside of your house, then just get yourself a desktop. And this way you don't have to worry about overheating issues and everything else and using too much power and everything else. This power conserving problem that everybody's using, I want you guys to understand something. Okay. You want to conserve power, then go get yourself solar panels. That'll take money off of how much you owe per month. That's what I did. And I'm using solar panel power. So that keeps my PC going every day. That keeps my air conditioning going every day. So I'm using solar power. And the only power I'm really using from the electric company, believe it or not, they're just charging me the maintenance fees. That's all I'm paying per month. Maintenance fees, nothing else. So you want to eliminate your power problem, go get a solar panel kit. Run off of solar. I know it only lasts when the sun's out, but you figure you store up enough energy for when the sun's out, you should have enough energy to carry you all through the night. So just do your math and do the equation. I did. That's why I got what I got today. My PC pulls at max load less than 500 watts. Less than 500 watts, guys. Now at idle, I might be pulling maybe about 50 watts with everything combined, about 50 watts at idle. That's not too bad, especially when you got 11 fans, you got one RGB strip, you know, you got a power hungry motherboard, and you got an AIO cooler, and you know, you got a discrete graphics card, you know, your SSDs, you got 64 gigs of RAM, 4 slots, you got a power pulling from that, and you know, all that. So I've already considered all that, but I'm still using a 750 watt power supply for it all, and it runs. But I'm just trying to tell you, if you want to conserve, then get a laptop and run yourself 10, 25 watts and conserve. But I can tell you 25 watts might give you a little bit of gameplay, but it's not going to give you much. Most of your wattage sits in between 40 and 60. I say between 40 and 71 watts on a laptop. So if you want great gameplay, and you know what the new laptop's going to be coming out with the 4070s and all that, you know, they're out there already. 4070s are already out there. The 4080s, and they got laptops with the 4090s. I was looking into that too. Oh, big price though. Almost what? $3,500 for a laptop? That's like almost 3 of my computers, desktops right here. Almost 3 of them. And I run the RTX 4070, guys, and that's 1/2 of a 4090. That's the reason why I got the 4070. Is because it's right there in the middle. The 4070 is 1/2 of a 4090. With a little bit of perks with the software, so. But it still runs good. But anyway, I'm not going to make this a long video. But if you watch this to the end, make sure you subscribe. And also, too, put a like on the video. And don't forget about the notification bell to turn it on. That way you know when I post the next video. So until the next time and the next one, we will see you then.